Shalom, shalom, shalom lakam, which is peace unto you all. Hi, Rob Tawabla Atam Zaakyakam Yawam Man Rachagado Charlotte, which is good evening. This is your brother Yawan from the GMS camp in Charlotte. Nachamatam Kaya Amalakatashamayim Kwara, repent ye, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Kohalayim La La Abnawa Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rocha Hakwadash Wamashanala Zakonim Nawamalakim Shor Rocha Gadol, which is all praises to our Father Yahweh, which means he exists, Bahasham, and the name Yahweh Shai. He delivers in double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. This is Mashal Yah, Proverbs chapter 24, and we'll get verse 27. It says, prepare thy work without, and make it fit for thyself in the field, and afterwards build thine house. When we go into this word for prepare, it says kawan, and it says to be firm, be stable, established. It says be stable, to be directed aright, be arranged, be prepared, make firm, prepare. So when we do things, in our life, we should be prepared and we should have a plan, all right, which ultimately can go into like a planning phase or like a schedule, so that we're being intentional. You see, I also want to get this word as well. This is the word for punctual, having like punctuality. And it says having a sharp point, producing punctures. Senses now are rare or obsolete, from medieval Latin punctualis, from Latin punctus, a pricking, a nasalized form of the pi root puke, to mean to prick. It says the meaning prompt is recorded by 1670s, from the notion of exact, precise, insisting on fine points, including the observation of time and the keeping of appointments. You see, so when you look at the scriptures say that they strive for a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible. A lot of guys, like David Goggins, or I believe his name is David Goggins, Kobe Bryant, all right, your LeBron James, guys like LeBron James, I guess like the worldly greats, these guys are punctual, you see, and they're striving for a corruptible crown, but we're going for a incorruptible crown. So how much more so for that incorruptible, because this is a lot more important than, worldly riches. The scriptures say, essentially set your mind on things above. Let me get this real fast. This is Colossians chapter 3 and verse 2. It says, set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth. You see, because the guys that's greats in the world, they're setting their things, they're setting their minds on the things, or they're setting their affections on the things that's on the earth. You see, and they're very punctual and precise in their movements. You see, so if we're setting our affections on the things above, all right, we would have to do those things on a greater facet. All right, i.e. punctuality, being on time, planning, having that planning phase. All right, because all these are things are attributes and tangibles and wisdom. So I'm gonna go back to this. All right, this is Proverbs Mashal Yah chapter 24 and verse 27, and it says, prepare thy work without, and make it fit for thyself in the field, and afterwards build thine house. All right, let me go into this. I'm gonna read this in the NIV. It says, put your outdoor work in order and get your fields ready. After that, build your house. So have the planning phase, all right, and do the things that essentially that are necessary and wisdom. You see, and then after that, all right, after you have gathered, you got your plan, you gather your materials, all right, then we're supposed to build our house. Because when we go into the scriptures, we see that the Lord is very meticulous. So we're made in His image, all right. So ultimately, we have to strive, all right, to be in the Lord's image, essentially, all right, by doing, fulfilling our word, keeping our word, planning, having a planning phase. All of these things are, again, attributes of wisdom. First Chronicles chapter 28 and verse 11, and it says, then David gave Shalamah his son the pattern of the porch, and of the houses thereof, and of the treasuries thereof, and of the upper chambers thereof, and of the inner palace thereof, and the place of the seat of mercy. All right, all going into the building of the temple, So all of that was given to, Malak Shalamah, Ba Malak Dawada, given to King Solomon by King David. All right, going into that pattern. This word for pattern, it says Taba Tabanayat. All right. Tabanayat, and it goes into the resemblance, the structure, the manner of building, the likeness. All right, it says the figure. All right, so it had a specific build. You see, so all the men of old, all right, were all meticulous. They were all detailed. They were punctual. All right, they use wisdom. You see, so if we're those men coming back, we got to be doing the same things. All right, I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna go back to Proverbs chapter 24, verse 27. Go to this. All right, this is Luke chapter 14 and verse 28. It says, "For which of you intending to build a tower sitteth not down first, and counteth the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it, lest happily after he hath laid the foundation and is not able to finish it, all that behold it began to mock him, saying, This man began to build and was not able to finish." All right, because ultimately, we have to consider the cost. All right, when we come into this truth. All right, and daily we gotta consider the cost daily. All right, and then at the same time, it has to be a stage. All right, in our day to day, as far as planning, the Lord, He wants us to prioritize Him. You see, so we will prioritize the Lord, all right, by planning out our days, our weeks, all right, and being punctual, So if we got camp at a specific time, they got a saying at different jobs in the world, But if you on time, you will be late. You want to be like 5 minutes, 5 minutes prior, within reason, if possible. It shows punctuality, and it shows prioritization. Not being over righteous, but it should be a goal for us, to essentially be early. Each time that we can be early, we should be early. It, again, and then it also shows to ourselves, because when we, the scriptures say to set that house in order, roughly paraphrasing in the Apocrypha. You see, so it starts with ourselves. You see, so when we're planning these things and actually carrying them out, we're building that confidence, because it's in the fear of the Lord, and the scriptures say, in the fear of the Lord is a strong confidence. You see, so by doing these things daily, planning out, having a schedule, being intentional, all right, it puts us more in the present, and ultimately it shows the Lord, essentially that we're prioritizing them. All right, I'm gonna get that real fast. This is Proverbs chapter 14, and we'll give verse 26. And it says, "In the fear of the Lord is strong confidence, and his children shall have a place of refuge." It says, "The fear of the Lord is a fountain of life to depart from the snares of death." All right, so ultimately in the fear of the Lord, which it goes into ultimately a reverence, all right, a respect. All right, so by us, having again, going into prioritizing the Lord, that also goes into the fear. You see, and in the fear of the Lord is essentially going to build a strong confidence. So I just want to go into that. Adawan Tazaza Banaya Palos, with us a beautiful edification through the Spirit. While Adawan Tazah Atam Yashya Laila Tawab, Lord's will. You all have a good night. Wa Shalom Lakam, which is peace unto you all. A Shalom Shalom Halayla Tawab, which is good night.